Does it feel like your prayer life isn't doing for you what it used to do, that it's gone a bit dull, a bit dry? It's a very common experience. I'd like to talk about that today. Hi, I'm Warren, the rector here at St Columba's. Glad you could join me for my message of the day. Going dry in our prayer life is a very common experience. It's universal. And having a dry patches in a prayer life will happen numerous times, and they can last for different duration, sometimes short, sometimes quite long. And when I'm talking about going dry, I'm not here particularly talking about if you're someone who's just started praying. The issues around starting to pray and what we might be feeling are different to someone who has an established pattern of prayer. So I'm here talking to people who have a pattern of prayer, maybe in public worship on Sundays, for instance, or in their personal prayer life, using the prayer book like we do on Wednesday nights here on Facebook. So I'm talking about the dryness that comes after we have a pattern, a history of prayer, if you like. Now, when that happens to us, the temptation can be to jump the prayer ship, as I like to call it, thinking that the problem is with the form of prayer that we're using. So what we have to do is go and find some kind of new variety of prayer. Maybe something exotic, a little bit more exciting, or something new, but variety. Maybe we've already stopped praying because of the dryness. The second most important adage when it comes to prayer, the first most important prayer adage is to pray as we can, not as we can't. And I've spoken about that before. And the second most important adage is to seek depth before we seek variety. So when we go dry, it is tempting to think that what we need to do is to change how we pray, to get a bit more variety. And sure, there is something in that. If you have a pattern of regular public prayer, coming to church on a Sunday, and you feel it's going a bit dry, adding in maybe morning, evening prayer once a week will help. We do that on Wednesday nights. You can join us on Wednesday nights on Facebook. So we can supplement our prayer that way, but we don't give up our fundamental, our basic regular pattern to seek variety, but we stay with it. But we might add something which fits with it. That's not a bad idea. But the problem is when we think, oh no, the problem is the method of prayer, I'm just going to change, and we seek variety, is that we're actually giving up the chance to go deeper into our prayer, to have a deeper prayer life through the experience of going dry. There might be a number of reasons why our prayer life has gone dry. For instance, it just might be a sign that the way we approach our prayer has run its course and that we need to reinvigorate it some way. Not so much seeking variety, but reinvigoration. And that might be by, for instance, noticing that the way we use the method of prayer, for instance, the prayer book or a Sunday service, the things that we focus on might have run their course for the moment. So maybe we could focus on something different, another aspect of the prayer which we might have in relative terms underused, underutilized, not focused as much on. But more importantly, when it comes to being dry in our prayer life, we should never discount the possibility that the dryness we are experiencing is a gift from God. And this is the biggest mistake to make when we choose variety rather than depth, and we jump ship just because we're experiencing dryness in our prayer life. It's possible that dryness is a gift from God. The dryness is testing us, and it's aimed to draw us deeper into prayer and beyond the superficial motivation of getting something out of prayer. That's so important to remember. The benefits of praying continue even when our prayer feels dry. That's important to remember. Continuing to pray, even when things are a bit dry, will take us deeper and away from praying just for our own benefit or how we think it should feel, but to actually a deeper level of prayer and connection with God. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.